Welcome back to The Laugh. Now, Lazy Makoti, do you have a sweet tooth?
Of course, doesn't everyone?
No, I don't. Dumi, are you excited for this next one? Because I know Dumi loves herself some chocolate.
You know I love my sweet stuff and you know I love my chocolate, so this is a win-win for me.
Well, let's tick off all of those boxes. Summer and the coming festive season are always filled with surprises and special occasions, and you need to be ready. So the Lazy Makoti is still with us, and she's going to show you how to make this beautiful chocolate wreath cake that will make any occasion a festive affair.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited to convert you.
Okay, because so many chefs have come through here and so many chefs have promised to convert me, but I mean, they're always good, but I don't find myself making it at home. So I'm pretty sure if I walk away with your cookbook and all the tips and tricks, I'll be able to.
And plus, this is super easy to make. I mean, it's going to have even you baking.
Yeah, I'm intimidated by baking. I could not believe that you're about to whip up this cake in front of our very eyes.
It's super easy to make. So what I'm basically doing is just combining the dry ingredients, you know, the flour, the cocoa powder, baking powder together. And then I'm going to combine the wet ingredients. And then that's it. A little bit of salt. And then just combine those. So these are my dry ingredients.
Okay.
And then mix, mix, mix.
And when you do mix, I mean, a lot of people, before they add their wet ingredients, they add a well, they create, is that necessary for this recipe? And they fold in the ingredients, the wet and the dry?
Just make sure that you sift all of your ingredients to add a bit of air into your cake, because nobody wants like a dry stale cake. And then now for my wet ingredients, in here is some butter, some sugar, and some egg. And then I'm adding in my milk, and then a little bit of vanilla essence.
Smells amazing already.
Right. And then mix, mix, mix.
Chef, you've touched on the fact that you don't want your bake to be dry. And I think one of the few things when it comes to bundt cakes, unlike cakes with layers which have cream or frosting in them, people tend to end up getting, I mean, when baking a bundt cake, it turns out dry. What do you think is the trick for making sure it's still nice and moist and doesn't have that dryness to it? Because the only cream or frosting you'd actually get from it would be on the very top.
The other thing you want to make sure is that you're not over mixing.
Okay.
So please always make sure, you know, don't fight with that cake. Be nice to it. So you're just mixing until everything is combined, then please stop.
Yeah.
So over mixing is a no-no.
It's a no-no.
I didn't even know that that was such a thing. And Dumi, you also mentioned this is called a
Bundt cake.
A bundt cake.
Bundt cake. And yes, we've got a bundt cake over there, but you could use any type of cake tin with a hole in the center of it like we've got over here. So you could be very adventurous. But the one thing I do love about the bundt cake specifically is because of what you've got there, Chef. You've got it as a wreath cake. So you could actually gift it to someone as a celebration for the festive.
I absolutely love that. And just look at it. It looks beautiful and festive, and it just screams Christmas.
It really does. It's just transporting me straight back to KZN in Durban around Christmas time. We all love to decorate a beautiful wreath at the end of the day. And this is kind of reminiscent of it. And Dumi, the idea of gifting it takes it up a notch.
I mean, you're talking about a celebration of food in your book. This is exactly what it is. You're celebrating and then gifting it to someone. This is what the festive's about. Gifts all round.
And Dumi, what are you up to on your station?
I'm just chopping up some additions because I decided, because Chef is the star of the show here, and I'm making something. Because I figure you could do that, Chef, because you're so adventurous. You could add anything to your cake. You could even add nuts into it. Okay.
And she's like, and on that note, I want it right now.
I'll take them. I actually love that. That for me is what festive is about. Being in the kitchen with your family, with your friends, and then kind of making the recipe your own. So if someone wants to add something, let's go ahead and do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I'm also just slicing up some raspberries here because the other thing I love about what you've done is that you've paired the tastiness of the chocolate with the freshness of the berries, and you've also got that beautiful green color from the rosemary. So you could even flavor up your cake with the rosemary inside. It's completely up to you. But Chef, I love the adventurousness and the flavor. Balisa's waiting to taste. She's like, let me finish.
And I also want to find out, this rosemary, can we eat it? Just as is.
It's decorative. So you want that pop of green. If you think about these colors, these are the Christmas colors. The green, the red. So beautiful.
Definitely. And you know, I can see that you've drizzled on a whole lot of Clover Bliss here. And you know, at the end of the day, Clover Bliss for us is the ultimate addition to any dessert. It is a ready-to-eat indulgence. And today I just poured it over just like this because you don't need to whip it up. You don't need to bake it. You don't need to fuss over any of it. It's ready-to-eat indulgence. And you can use it in a recipe or as a snack on its own. So here we've used it in this recipe. I can only imagine if we were to add some of our bliss into the batter, how would that work?
It definitely would work well. You just want to make sure that you still keep to the ratios because you don't want the cake to be heavy, which is what Chef has mentioned. But Chef, how long does this go into the oven to bake for?
So this goes into a 180-degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Then you have your cake.
And yes, Bali, you've got something to say. Slow clap.
You promised to convert me, girl. This is delicious. I see it's succulent, it's moist, and also it's not too sweet. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. I've also got sensitive teeth, honey, let me tell you something. So if I bite into something sweet, my teeth just go like this, but this is so easy to eat. I love the addition of the berries as well, Dumi, because it adds that extra bit of freshness. So to get your hands on this recipe, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
With love by Clover.